Hey everyone, and welcome. In the Indo-Pacific, things are always shifting, but a really powerful new partnership is starting to take shape. Today, we're going to unpack the new alliance between India and Malaysia. And trust me, this is way more than just a few handshakes and trade deals. All right, let's get into it. So, if you want to understand what this whole thing is really about, you just need to remember two words from the agreement: strategic trust. See, this isn't just about what's good for business. It's about building a really deep foundational relationship to handle whatever the 21st century throws at them. It means they're ready to work together on sensitive stuff, share critical tech, and see eye to eye on the big geopolitical questions. That one phrase, strategic trust, it really sets the tone for everything. Okay, so here's how we're going to break it all down. First up, we'll look at the foundation of this new special relationship. Then we'll dive into the economic powerhouse they're trying to build. After that, we'll get into the super important security side of things. And finally, we'll zoom out and talk about why this alliance is such a big deal for the entire region. Right, so part one, a new strategic trust. What exactly makes this relationship special? A word both leaders have been using. Well, it really starts with just how big their ambitions are. It all starts with this number right here, 11. That's how many different agreements and documents they signed. This tells you it's not some single-issue deal. No, this is a comprehensive, multi-layered alliance that covers a whole range of critical areas. It's a huge signal that both sides are in this for the long haul. And, it's important to remember this isn't just coming out of the blue. India and Malaysia are maritime neighbors, and they've had good, solid ties for centuries. What's different now is the focus. They're laser-focused on these high-priority, future-looking sectors. It's like they're taking a historic friendship and upgrading it for the modern world. And this whole deal is really powered by mutual respect. I mean, the Malaysian Prime Minister himself talked about India's spectacular rise. So this isn't a one-way street at all. It's a true partnership between two countries that see each other as rising powers and absolutely vital partners for the future. And all that mutual respect flows directly into our second section, powering the economic engine. This is where that idea of strategic trust stops being a concept and starts becoming real, tangible economic action. And listen, this partnership isn't about trading t-shirts and timber. We're talking about the absolute foundations of a modern, future-proofed economy: semiconductors, advanced manufacturing, digital tech, and things we all depend on, like health and food security. They're basically linking up their most critical supply chains. Here's another sign of just how deep this commitment is. They've agreed to start trading more using their own currencies, the Indian Rupee and the Malaysian Ringgit. Now, this is a huge deal. It means they're less dependent on the US dollar, it cuts down on transaction costs, and it weaves their financial systems together much, much tighter. And I've got to say, this focus on semiconductors is absolutely crucial. If the last few years have taught us anything, it's that global supply chains can be incredibly fragile. Microchips are basically the new oil. So building trusted partnerships to secure them isn't just an economic move, it's a national security priority. This pact shows they are dead serious about their tech future. All of this economic cooperation naturally leads us to our third section, securing the Indo-Pacific. Because, let's be honest, in the world we live in today, you just can't separate a strong economy from regional security. The two go hand in hand. And just so we're all on the same page here, when we say the Indo-Pacific, we're not just talking about a big patch of ocean. We're talking about the geopolitical center of gravity for the 21st century. It is the world's primary engine for growth. And that engine only runs if there's stability and security. So how are they planning to keep it secure? Well, it comes down to these three concrete pillars. This isn't just some vague promise of defense ties. Nope. They're actively working together on counter-terrorism, sharing vital intelligence, and cooperating to keep the seas safe in some of the busiest shipping lanes on the planet. And their stance on this could not be clearer. It shows total unity. When it comes to the threat of terrorism, there are no double standards, no gray areas, no compromises. A message that clear and that united is incredibly powerful in the region. But this isn't just about their own two countries creating some exclusive club. They're actually strengthening the whole regional setup by doubling down on their commitment to ASEAN, the Association of Southeast Asian Nations. By pushing to speed up the review of the ASEAN-India trade deal, they're trying to lift up the entire neighborhood. Okay, so that brings us to our final section. Why does all this matter? Let's zoom out for a second and look at the big picture. the real-world impact of this growing friendship. At the end of the day, in a world that feels pretty chaotic and unstable a lot of the time, having a strong, stable, and forward-looking friendship between two major regional players is just incredibly important. This alliance acts as an anchor, a source of stability and predictability in a really turbulent part of the world. And this trust isn't just talk, it's leading to real, tangible results. For example, Malaysia is now officially backing India's bid for a permanent seat on the UN Security Council. That is a major diplomatic win. And in return, India's deepening its own presence by opening a new consulate general in Malaysia. These are the kinds of moves you only make when a partnership is truly mature and built on trust. It all really boils down to this powerful, shared vision. The ultimate goal here is to create a future where a prosperous Malaysia and a developed India can rise together, each one making the other stronger. It's a really positive vision, not just for them, but for the entire Indo-Pacific. And so I'll leave you with this final thought. What we're seeing here is a deep alignment of both economic and security interests, all built on that foundation of strategic trust. So the question is, could this be the new model? Could this India-Malaysia alliance actually be the blueprint for how you build lasting stability and prosperity in the Indo-Pacific? It's definitely something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.